Podcast Talk. Learn English naturally.
Ways to improve English listening skills.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Podcast Hub. I'm John.
And I'm Daniela, and today we're tackling one of the most frustrating challenges for English learners everywhere.
Today's topic is listening skills, specifically how to improve them, because for so many learners, listening is the skill that holds everything else back.
You can read English well, you can write English well, maybe you can even speak fairly confidently. But the moment a native speaker opens their mouth, especially at natural speed, everything falls apart.
The words blur together. The accent is unfamiliar. They're speaking too fast, swallowing sounds, using slang you've never heard in a classroom.
And the terrible part? You nod and smile and pretend you understood, and then panic afterward.
We have a name for that. It's called the nod and praise strategy, and almost every English learner has used it.
Today, we're going to replace that strategy with real skills, real techniques, and a deep understanding of why listening in English is hard and exactly what to do about it.
We'll cover why English listening is uniquely challenging, the science behind how listening comprehension develops, specific techniques and exercises, resources to use, common mistakes to avoid, and a practical action plan.
But before we start, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, turn on notifications, and comment below. Let's start with the most important question. Why is listening so hard? Because understanding the problem is the first step to solving it.
Reason 1. Connected speech. In the classroom, you learn words in isolation. What, are, you, doing. Clean, separate, clear.
But in real speech, those words connect and transform. What are you doing becomes what are you doing? The sounds blur, merge, and change in ways nobody warned you about.
This is called connected speech, and it has several specific features. Let's name them, because knowing the terminology helps you understand what you're hearing.
Linking, when the final sound of one word connects to the opening sound of the next. Turn it off becomes turn it off. Get out becomes get out.
Elision, when sounds or syllables are dropped entirely. Comfortable becomes comfortable. Temperature becomes temperature. Probably becomes probably.
Assimilation, when sounds change because of neighboring sounds. Did you becomes did ya. Would you becomes would ya. Don't you becomes don't ya.
Weak forms. In natural speech, common words like and, of, to, for, the are reduced to almost nothing. A cup of tea becomes a cup of tea. I want to go becomes I want to go.
Intrusion. Sometimes speakers actually add a sound between words for smooth flow. I saw it can sound like I saw what. A tiny extra sound appears.
Reason 2, speed. Native speakers speak at roughly 150 to 190 words per minute in normal conversation. That is very fast if you're processing in a second language.
Your brain has to decode sounds, match them to words, parse grammar, understand meaning, store what was said, and respond, all simultaneously and in real time.
In your native language, this is automatic. In English, it requires active processing, which takes time you don't have.
Reason 3. Accents. There is no single English accent. There are dozens. British, American, Australian, Irish, Scottish, South African, Indian, Nigerian, and hundreds of regional variations within each.
Your textbook probably taught you one accent. Real life gives you all of them.
Reason 4. Vocabulary gaps. Even if you understand every word individually, idioms, phrasal verbs, slang, and cultural references can leave you completely lost.
Someone says, "We're playing it by ear," and you've never heard that expression. Comprehension breaks down entirely.
Reason 5. Lack of visual and contextual cues. In conversation, you have body language, facial expressions, shared context, and the ability to ask questions. In audio content, podcasts, radio, phone calls, you have none of that.
Now that we understand the problems, let's talk about solutions, and we'll start with something fundamental, the difference between passive and active listening practice.
Passive listening is having English in the background while you do other things. Music while cooking, a podcast while commuting, a TV show while scrolling through your phone.
Active listening is giving your complete, focused attention to what you're hearing, engaging your brain fully, and using strategies to deepen your comprehension. Here's the hard truth. Passive listening has limited value for improving comprehension. It helps with exposure, rhythm, and familiarity, but it doesn't develop the decoding skills you actually need.
You need both, but active listening is where the real progress happens. So let's go through the active listening techniques one by one.
Technique 1. Intensive listening.
This means choosing a short piece of audio, 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and listening to it multiple times with full focus and specific goals.
First listen, general comprehension. What is this about? What's the main idea? Don't stop, don't rewind, just absorb.
Second listen, detail focus. What specific information can you catch? Names, numbers, key words. Push yourself to hear more.
Third listen, language focus. What phrases did they use? What was the grammar? Were there any expressions you didn't catch the first time?
Fourth listen, and this is optional but powerful, listen without the transcript, then check the transcript, then listen again while following the text.
This layered approach trains your ear systematically. You're not just hearing, you're analyzing, comparing, and encoding.
Technique 2, shadowing.
Shadowing is one of the most powerful techniques for both listening and speaking. You listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say simultaneously, or just a second behind them, matching their speed, rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation exactly.
The key word is simultaneously. You're not waiting for them to finish, you're running parallel to them.
This technique forces your brain to process language at native speed. It's uncomfortable at first. That discomfort means it's working.
Start with slow, clear speech. News broadcasts, TED Talks, podcasts designed for learners. As you improve, move to faster, more natural content.
Technique 3, dictation practice.
Choose an audio clip and write down exactly what you hear. Every word, every sound.
This sounds old-fashioned, but it's scientifically sound. Writing forces active, precise processing. You can't skip over things you didn't catch. You have to confront every gap.
After you've written what you heard, check against the transcript. Where did you go wrong? Was it connected speech, an unfamiliar word, a reduced form?
The errors are your curriculum. They show you exactly what your ear is missing.
Technique 4, listen and summarize.
Listen to a piece of audio, then immediately summarize it in English, either in writing or out loud, not word for word, in your own words.
This tests whether you actually understood the meaning, not just the sounds. It's active comprehension, not passive decoding.
This technique also builds your output skills simultaneously, a very efficient use of practice time.
Technique 5, prediction and context building.
Before you listen, build context. Read about the topic, learn the vocabulary, understand the situation, then listen.
This is not cheating, it's strategy. Native speakers don't enter conversations with zero context. They bring prior knowledge, expectations, and relevant vocabulary. You can too.
Your brain processes language faster when it's not working from scratch. Prediction is a core listening skill.
Technique 6, chunking practice.
Focus on hearing phrases and chunks rather than individual words. I was just about to, that's a chunk. As far as I know, chunk. It goes without saying, chunk.
When you train your ear to recognize these units, your processing speed increases dramatically. You're not decoding 5 separate words, you're recognizing one familiar unit.
This is how native speakers process speech in chunks, not individual phonemes. Train yourself to do the same.
Technique 7, accent training.
Deliberately expose yourself to a variety of accents. Don't just stick to one variety of English.
There is a wonderful concept called accent inoculation. If you've been exposed to many different accents in low-stakes practice situations, you're much less likely to be thrown by an unfamiliar accent in a real high-stakes situation.
Listen to BBC English, then American podcasts, then Australian YouTube channels, then Irish comedy, then Indian English interviews. Each one trains your ear differently.
Technique 8. Real-time repair strategies.
This is about what to do when you don't understand during an actual conversation, because avoiding comprehension breakdowns entirely isn't realistic.
Have a toolkit of phrases for these moments. Sorry, could you say that again? Is fine, but there are much more specific and sophisticated options.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that last part. You heard most of it, just the end.
Could you slow down just a little? My English is still developing. Honest and politely direct.
So if I understood correctly, you're saying that checking your comprehension actively.
Sorry, what does word mean in this context? Targeting exactly what you missed.
Could you put that a different way? Sometimes rephrasing helps more than repetition.
Having these phrases automatic and ready means a comprehension gap doesn't break down the whole conversation.
Now let's talk about resources, because choosing the right material at the right level is crucial.
The single most important principle? Comprehensible input. Linguist Stephen Krashen's research suggests that the most effective language learning happens when the material is just slightly above your current level, what he calls I+1.
Too easy and you're not challenged. Too hard and your brain shuts down. The sweet spot is content where you understand maybe 70 to 80%, and the remaining 20 to 30% is a stretch.
Resources for beginner to lower intermediate. News and slow English, real news topics at reduced speed with clear pronunciation, BBC Learning English, designed specifically for learners, graded levels, excellent transcripts.
Voice of America Learning English, clear American English at slower speed, podcast for learners. Many exist specifically graded for different levels.
For intermediate learners, TED Talks, enormous variety of topics, high-quality speakers, transcripts and subtitles available. They speak clearly but at near native speed.
Podcasts on topics you already know well. If you're listening to a topic you're familiar with, you bring context that helps comprehension. Documentaries with subtitles.
For upper intermediate to advanced, real, unscripted podcasts, conversations between native speakers with all the features of natural speech, the Joe Rogan Experience, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, Smartless, genuine conversation, not performance.
British sitcoms, fast speech, regional accents, cultural humor, idiomatic language, challenging but incredibly rewarding. The Office, Peep Show, Fleabag.
Audiobooks, excellent for extended listening stamina. Start with books you've already read in your native language so you have the content context.
YouTube, genuinely one of the best resources available. Whatever topic interests you, there are hours of content in English on it. Watch with English subtitles, never translated subtitles.
And for advanced learners, radio. Live, unedited, no visual cues, natural speed, regional accents. BBC Radio 4 is considered by many to be the gold standard for high-quality spoken English.
Films without subtitles. Conversations in professional or technical fields, legal proceedings, medical consultations, academic lectures.
Now let's talk about a specific and very powerful practice method, the transcript technique.
This is a structured process that combines intensive listening with language analysis. Here's how it works.
Step 1. Choose a clip of 1 to 3 minutes of authentic English, a podcast extract, a YouTube video, a TV scene.
Step 2. Listen once without stopping. Write down everything you understood. Not a transcript, just notes on meaning.
Step 3. Listen again, this time trying to transcribe, to write down exactly what was said.
Step 4. Check your transcription against the real transcript. Circle every difference.
Step 5. For each error, identify why. Connected speech, unknown vocabulary, fast delivery, accent feature, an idiom you didn't recognize.
Step 6. Read the transcript aloud. Then listen again while following the text. Your ear and brain are now working together on the same material.
Step 7. Listen one final time without the transcript. Notice how much more you hear now.
This process takes about 20 to 30 minutes for a 3-minute clip. It is intensive. It is also one of the most effective listening practices that exists.
Now let's talk about common mistakes that
actually slow down your listening development.
Mistake 1. Only using subtitles in your native language. This is one of the most common and most damaging habits.
When you read subtitles in your own language, your brain stops trying to process the English audio. You're reading, not listening. You get the story, but zero listening practice.
If you need subtitles, use English subtitles. This trains your ear to connect sounds to words. As you improve, reduce the subtitles and eventually remove them entirely.
Mistake 2. Only practicing with material designed for learners. Learner content is spoken clearly, slowly, with simplified vocabulary. This builds confidence, but it doesn't prepare you for real English.
You need regular exposure to authentic, unscripted, natural speech. This is uncomfortable. That discomfort is necessary.
Mistake 3. Passive consumption. Watching 5 hours of English TV while distracted is not the same as 20 focused minutes of intensive practice. Quality beats quantity every time.
Mistake 4. Giving up when it's hard. Listening comprehension has a non-linear development curve. You often plateau before you leap. Continuing through the plateau is where the growth is.
Mistake 5. Never training for connected speech specifically. Most learners know words but have never been taught how those words sound in natural, fast speech. This is a gap that needs deliberate attention.
Mistake 6. Avoiding accents you find difficult. If Scottish accents confuse you, the solution is more Scottish English, not less. Avoidance doesn't build tolerance, exposure does.
Now let's do our demonstration. John, describe a very basic approach to improving listening. Then I'll show the upgrade.
To improve listening, you should watch English films and listen to English music. Try to watch every day. It will get better with time.
Now the upgrade. If you want to genuinely move the needle in your listening comprehension, passive exposure alone isn't going to cut it. You need a deliberate, structured approach. The foundation is intensive listening, taking short clips of authentic English and processing them deeply, listening multiple times, transcribing, checking against the transcript, and identifying exactly where your ear is falling short. Pair that with shadowing practice, running parallel to native speakers at their actual speed, and you'll start developing real-time processing ability. The key is authentic material, real conversations, not classroom recordings. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, you'll miss things, but that gap between what you hear and what was said is your curriculum. Work in that zone consistently, and the improvement is not just likely, it's inevitable.
That is a completely different level of advice, and is specific enough to actually act on.
Let's note what was used. Move the needle. Passive exposure won't cut it. Deliberate, structured approach. Processing them deeply. Real-time processing ability. That gap is your curriculum. Work in that zone.
Move the needle to make meaningful progress on something. Very common in professional and motivational English. Won't cut it. Won't be sufficient, won't be good enough. Extremely common informal expression.
Your curriculum, a powerful reframe. Your weaknesses aren't failures, they're your study plan.
Now let's build the action plan.
Week 1. Establish your baseline. Find a 3-minute clip of authentic English conversation. Listen once and write how much you understood as a percentage. This is your starting point. Do the full transcript technique on this clip.
Week 2. Begin a daily shadowing practice, 10 minutes every morning. Choose a clear, moderately paced speaker. Run parallel to them. Be uncomfortable. Do it anyway.
Week 3. Add accent diversity. Listen to one new accent per day for 5 minutes. British one day, Australian the next, Irish, American regional, South African. Just listen. No pressure to fully understand.
Week 4. Commit to 20 minutes of intensive listening, daily. One clip, multiple listens, transcript check, error analysis. Track what kinds of errors you're making. Patterns will emerge.
Month 2 onwards, gradually increase the difficulty of your material. Move closer to fully authentic, unscripted, full-speed native content. When it feels comfortable, go harder.
Ongoing. Every time you encounter connected speech you didn't catch, Write it down. Build your personal connected speech dictionary. Whaddaya? What do you? Gonna? Going to? Coulda? Could have.
And ongoing, watch English content you genuinely enjoy, because motivation is part of the system. If you hate the material, you won't practice consistently. Find content you actually want to listen to, and your brain will be engaged from the start.
Let's wrap up with our key takeaways.
Key point 1. Listening is hard for specific, understandable reasons: connected speech, speed, accents, vocabulary gaps. Knowing why helps you target your practice.
Key point 2. Passive listening has limited value. Active, intensive, focused practice is what builds real comprehension.
Key point 3. The transcript technique is one of the most powerful tools available. Use it regularly.
Key point 4. Shadowing builds real-time processing. It's uncomfortable and it works.
Key point 5. Use authentic material, real conversations, natural speed, genuine accents. Learner content builds confidence. Authentic content builds competence.
Key point 6. Learn connected speech features by name, linking, elision, assimilation, weak forms. This gives you a framework for understanding what you're actually hearing.
Key point 7. Your errors are your curriculum. Don't be discouraged by what you miss. Be curious about it. That's where your growth is hiding.
Thank you so much for joining us today on English Podcast Hub. Listening is the foundation of all language skills, and today you have a real structured path to improving it.
Start today. Even 10 minutes of intensive listening is more valuable than 2 hours of background noise.
Subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with a learner who's been nodding and praying for too long.
Until next time, listen actively, listen bravely, and keep growing.
Take care, everyone.